Hey guys, it's July 29th, 2020. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop Flosstube, and we're like right in the middle of Jolly July, which is a fun way to stitch Christmas in July. And we're almost to the very last week, so I actually have a finish this week and lots of stuff to show you. So I'm gonna just jump right in and talk about Jolly July. So the very first day last week was working on Kringles. And so, here is my Kringles. And it took quite a bit of detail. This was so much color change. It was just like start, stop, start, stop. And then earlier this week, I went ahead and did this part because I had some extra time so that today I can actually finish the bottom, because each of the days that I've done these two, it's taken like 2 or 3 days. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and do this, and then that way I only have the bottom. Now I'm leaving all of the back stitch, French knots, all of that until the very end. So this is supposed to be a bunny, but of course it doesn't look like a bunny yet. But this is what I'm working on today, is room 6. And then after that, I am going to put in, let me show you the pattern. So in the pattern, after this room would be doing the Kringles, and I'm gonna do this instead. I'm gonna do Jollies. And so I think that'll be really fun, and it won't be, I'll probably really enjoy doing it because it's not as many color changes. So probably my goal is by the end of the summer to have this line done, and then I'm gonna stop for a little bit. Just because there's so much detail in this, it's so much different than anything I've ever done, but it just is a lot of start and stop, which is hard to do for me. So that is Kringles. And here's my back if you want to see my back. It's pretty. You can see how many starts and stops there are. So that house, or that room, took almost 7 hours, which, I mean, that's quite a bit. And then the very next day was Jolly St. Nick and Rudolph. So this is a pattern by Priscilla and Chelsea of the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch and Stitching with the Housewives. And so here is the Santa. So basically all I have left to do is his hat, just his hat, and then the only back stitch in here are his eyebrows. And I might do them, I might not. I'll just kind of see. Sometimes I forget. Oh, and then also it should say Jolly here. Sometimes I just forget the back stitch completely. So, but I'm gonna do this. This one will finish tomorrow, which is super exciting. It's been a lot of fun. I was a little bit concerned that the gray mustache wouldn't show up, but it did. So I kind of saved the end for the last. I kind of wanted to have like all of this done so I would only have to fill in the red part, but I didn't get that far. And this one will be really cute, finished. And then the next day, I worked on Mistletoe Lane, and here is Mistletoe Lane. You can see what Cheryl did. This is Cheryl's piece, and so Cheryl stitched hers with Weeks Dye Works with, she did 1X at a time, and I'm doing the exact same floss and exact same colors, except I'm doing mine with a row. And so you can see I have a little bit less variegation. I did make a mistake right here. I actually made about 4 mistakes doing this because I was trying to watch Dateline, and like one of the Datelines, like the Datelines behind the scenes or whatever. It was one of those episodes that's on like the random channel. And so I actually stitched this one wrong. I stitched a bunch wrong, but this one is 1 stitch closer to the tree or the house than it's supposed to be, but nobody will know. I wasn't gonna pull all of it out. And then this Friday is the very final PDF, and it's gonna be right here. So I'll give you a little clue of what it's going to be. And so I'll finish this on Friday, and then this will be all finished. And then I'm going to send it to Priscilla to finish for me. And here's the back. We got our camera all fixed. And then the next day was the final ornament from Stitching with the Housewives. And it is called Gingham Greetings 2. And I'm going to show you all of them. So there are 4 PDFs that you can get at Fat Quarter Shop. This is my thread. And I'm going to show you how they look together. And on these, I had leftover chalkboard black from other projects, and I just used random, hold on, just some, I'm trying to make them all fit. So they're so pretty. So there's a green truck and a red truck. I thought about making an aqua truck, and then I thought, no, it won't look good with these. So they're super cute, they're super easy, they only take about 3 or 4 hours. I love stitching on the Aida, the chalkboard black, and there's 4 of these. They're gonna have more ornaments so that other shops can carry the ornaments on paper. So she's gonna be adding more ornaments later this year, but these are the first 4. So if you wanna get your tree ready, you can go ahead and get your tree ready. So I might send these off today to Priscilla. And then the last 3 days of the week was working on Christmas typography. This is by Pine Mountain Designs. And I'm done. I'm so excited. So this one didn't take too long. This one took a while, and this one didn't take too long. And I'm going to show you the back. I used Liberty, Scuppernong, and Island Breeze, which are Weeks Dye Works colors. And we are going to have a kit available. The reason we didn't have the kit before is I needed to see how many skeins I used of each. And now that I'm done, I know. So this kit will be available next week, later this week or next week. And you can see as I did the letters, I didn't transfer over. I just started and stopped each letter individually. And I'm thinking when I frame this, I might frame it in something red or aqua, but I am going to take this to my framers. And so that is my Jolly July. So let me know if you have any questions on my Jolly July before I go on to everybody else's Jolly July.
Right,
and after Friday, I will have all of my Jolly July finished. Except for Snow Village and Kringles won't be finished yet, but I'll be finished with the progress that I had wanted.
All right, I'm gonna let some questions roll in here. Lori Holt had commented, Kimberly, that Kringles is amazing, and she put that little emoji with the heart eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Very cute. From Joella Brazil, do you use a light box for the black fabric? I have a hard time seeing the holes.
I don't. I, for some reason, can really see the black really well. I don't know why I can, but I think it's because it's Aida. So I don't use a light box. I use a Halo Go light, and I put that on top and look through the magnifying section when I do any of it. But just right now, before we started, I was stitching on the Santa Claus, and I did it without any light or anything. You can put a white pillow in your lap or like a white towel in your lap, and then that will give some lightness. So like if you had on black pants and then you had black Aida, it would be harder to see, but if you put like a white towel, it'll make it easier to see.
All right, from Gail Sale, was there no Snow Village this week?
Okay, Snow Village wasn't on my list for this week, but I did work on it, and I'm going to show you in a little bit.
Oh, okay. From Donna Merrifield, how do you not have thread tails on the back of your work?
So on the back, I just go under my work. I go under my previous stitches 3 to 4 to 5 stitches, and then I tug it a little bit, and then I clip right. I use these yellow scissors. They're very sharp, and you can get right to the very end of it. They're omni-grid. And so I use these scissors, and they're really sharp, and you can get right to the end, and I just cut. If you use like cheaper scissors, that's totally fine. You might just have a tail showing, and that's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. If you like that, that's fine. I just like those sharp scissors. Kevin tried to use those scissors on something this week, and I was like, don't you touch my scissors. He was like really like going to use them, and I was like, oh no, you're not.
Oh, no.
I got really mad. I don't get mad very often, so he was like, why are you so mad? I was like, don't touch my scissors. Don't touch my stuff.
All right. Another question from Donna Merrifield. They say, I love Priscilla and Chelsea's designs. How did you meet and start working together?
So Priscilla and Chelsea, when we started the cross stitch, I basically just emailed them. I was like, hey, do you want to work together? Because I believe in life, if you want something, you go after it. If you want to work with somebody, you just ask them. If they say no, they say no. Mm-hmm. But like they didn't say no. And I think we have a really good reciprocal relationship. Like, you know, we work really well together. And they're super funny. I was laughing. They did a video yesterday about how to plant a trough. And I was like dying watching that video because I was like, number one, how much money did y'all spend on that? I could have bought a purse. That's the inside joke. I could have bought a purse for that. And second of all, I was like, that's a lot of manual labor. I couldn't have done any of that. I would have been like, bye. I would have just left their house. I would have been like, I'm going to Starbucks. You'll be I could not imagine doing all that work.
That's great.
And so it's probably the only gardening I'll ever watch is them. And then I don't even know what words they're saying. I'm like, what? What does that even mean? I don't even know.
Also in regards to Priscilla, someone was asking why she finishes your projects for you.
Because she's my friend and I ask her to. And then in return, I send her like stuff. So it's, I don't know, like we're just friends. And if she sent me something to do, I would do it. I mean, she does it as a friend for me.
Oh. All right. And then question from Janae Combs. On the typography, how did you stitch the red letters? Did you go up and down or side to side?
So whenever I'm stitching, and we're on World of Cross Stitch Day, we have something super awesome planned for you guys, and I'm gonna go over kind of how I work in my brain to answer some of these questions. But anytime I work on anything, whether it's a ornament or a little gift or like this, say this right here, I start at the top and go down. So that's just how I work. I go to the top and then I go down, and I kind of just, each letter I did different. I kind of just did whatever I would have to the least amount of travel. So I just kind of did each little section at a time. So sometimes I did one square at a time. Sometimes I did rows. It just kind of depended on what would save the most thread, since I was trying to get each letter out of each thread skein. So I wouldn't have to do 2 per letter. Because I don't really do the whole like 1x at a time or any of those rules. I just do whatever I feel like at that moment. And some days I'm like, I don't care about the back. Some days I do care about the back. It depends how much in a hurry I am.
From Karen Amrine. Hi, would you recommend linen yardage or linen cross stitch fabric for punch needle?
I have 0 experience with punch needle, but I think you could probably go to Primitive Gatherings. She has a Facebook group. It's Lisa Bonjean. She has a ton of experience in punch needle, and she has lots of patterns, and so she might have some videos on it. But I would reach out to Lisa Bonjean or her store, which is Primitive Gatherings. Like maybe call them. They're pretty awesome, and I know they have really good customer service, and they could help you out.
From Ann Weber, what is Linda cloth? Saw it on your What's New, and I'm wondering if it's similar to Aida or Lugana.
So it's similar to Monaco, and I have a big stack of it here, and we're going to talk about it at the very end. And so we'll just talk about it at the end. If I grab it right now, everything on the table will fall. So I'm not trying to avoid your question. I just don't want all my stuff to fall. So I will talk about it kind of at the end.
And then lots of people are asking, when is World Cross Stitch Day?
August 14th. And so on that day, I'll just kind of tell y'all now, we're going to have a low price PDF that's super cute. And I'm going to sit here right at this table, and I'm going to just stitch the whole thing with you guys. If it takes 4 hours, it takes 4 hours. If it takes 2 hours, it takes 2 hours. And I'm just going to sit and just talk about why I do stuff, how I do it. And you can watch me. It's not going to be so much talking as it's going to be me just stitching, so you can see kind of how my mind works and how I stitch and how I try to be really fast and efficient. And then you can ask questions. Lily's probably going to be so bored. But Lily can, like, there's no way. I could tell a funny story right now, but like I don't know anything about technology, and so even if I had like a live, I wouldn't know, because there was this thing called what is that thing called that I tried to do for YouTube?
The Life in a Day?
Life in a Day. I tried to do that. I filmed like 5 hours of stuff. I filmed it the wrong direction. I filmed it up and down instead of sideways. So Lily was like, none of this qualifies. And she was like, do you want to refilm it? I was like, nah, it's all right. But that's the kind of stuff I do. I don't, and I even read the rules. Like, I read the rules. I watched the videos. I watched like 3 or 4 videos on how to do it. I still did it wrong. I'm not good at technology, so.
Yeah, we can still try. But
oh, yeah, just to submit it.
Yeah.
And I'm not redoing it. I filmed like 30 minutes hiking. I don't hike, guys. 30 minutes hiking. And I filmed it all wrong.
Oh. All right, from Wilma Evans, when you do lettering, do you do the background first or the letters first?
Okay, so on this, sorry, I was thinking of this. Okay, so on this one, I will always do a lighter color first, especially with Fancy Floss, because I feel like it's much more fuzzy than a DMC or Cosmo or AuriFloss. So I would do all the white first. Well, first, actually, what I would do is I would outline the banner so that I know where my banner is. I would do the words, and then I would fill in. For something like this, I would do the white first. Well, actually, I would do the same thing. I would do the around the blue sign first to get my whole bearings of where the sign is. Then I would do all the white, all the red, and then the blue. Let me see if there's another one. Like on here, I would just probably start here, and I would probably do my white and then the red, and then I would come over here, figure out the white, and do the white and then the red. I wouldn't do all the whites because that's a lot of traveling, but I would do the white before the red. And here I would do all the whites first and then the reds.
From Threadneedle, thanks for doing pre-orders for Calvin and Trixie. It's the cutest black cat I've seen. Well, you have a thread pack for it too.
Yes. The thread packs will come out slightly after the patterns, just because of thread delays, but it is all on order.
Tip from Lori Holt here. She says, don't use linen for punch needle, use weaver's cloth.
There, good, thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
And I don't think we have weaver's cloth, and I don't think we're gonna have weaver's cloth, but I know at Primitive Gatherings they have it, so.
Priscilla and Chelsea say, we heart you, Kimberly, you are the best.
Aw, thanks. I love y'all too, but let me tell y'all, if I was at your house and y'all were trying to make a trough, I'd be like, I'm out of here. Y'all were cracking me. They were like throwing in these like things in the bottom of the trough, and I'm like, where did you get all? Like, the whole thing was just blowing my mind. I was just like, it's crazy. No, like, I will hide. Like, if there's manual labor, I will try to hide in my house. I will try to, like, go in a closet, like, where nobody can find me. I do not want to do manual.
Oh, my God. They also say, if you want something in life, go get it. Go get that purse, girl. All in caps.
Oh, see, this joke about the purse, and they're going to bug me until Kevin buys me the purse. Maybe Kevin's watching. Maybe Kevin can watch and buy me my purse. So basically, in our house, we have this rule that, like, if something's really expensive, we don't buy it without telling the other person. And there's this purse I really want. And so I asked for it for Mother's Day, and I didn't get it. And so they're like, when are you going to get that purse? I'm like, never. Never going to get that purse. Aww. But I did get new bedroom furniture. So, well, it's not here yet, but I did convince him to let me get new bedroom furniture, so I'm excited about that.
Yay. From Donna Regal, and I apologize if I mispronounce this word. She's asking, what is the difference between hardanger and Lugana? Even weave? Hardanger?
I don't know. Hardanger and
Hardanger.
I don't know.
Okay.
Cheryl knows, but she's in the other room, so I don't know.
Cheryl, if you're watching.
Yeah, Cheryl, just put a little note in. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Door. Oh, no. Nita Pool says, where did Kimberly get her necklace? Love it.
Okay, so this I've had for like probably 4 years. It's Kendra Scott. So I have this and then the little earrings. I don't have very many fancy things, but today I was like, oh, this white shirt's kind of boring. I need something. But I've had it for long. I don't even know if they still have it. It's super old.
Yeah. They have similar stuff.
Yeah.
That's like the style. Carol Johnson says, do you ever have to rip out? I have just started doing cross stitch again. Seems I'm always counting wrong.
Yes. So when I was working this week, like I said, I was watching this really good Dateline, and so I was not paying attention at all, and I kept messing up. So when I have to pick out, what I do is I will cut the thread and just pull a few stitches, cut the thread, and keep pulling so that it's not just pulling these big hunks. But I do find if I am making a lot of mistakes, I will continue to make a lot of mistakes. So it's best to stop. So when I was doing this, I was just frustrated, but I don't think I was frustrated. I was just really interested in this Dateline episode. So I did make myself finish, but normally I would have just, if I didn't have like a deadline, I just would have stopped, because that just meant I should have been watching Dateline and not trying to do two things at once. But I do rip out. I try to clip the thread so that when I'm pulling it out, I'm not pulling through a big old thing.
All right, and before we move on, we got a couple super chats here. The first one is from Trilby Freeman for $5, and they said, you made me laugh about the scissors. You just made me laugh about the scissors.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trilby. And then our next super chat is from Valeria Bauer. There goes Piggy, and it was for $9.99, and they put a little pair saying thank you.
Oh, like thank you. So I'm going to show you the other Jolly Julys that we have, which are from our staff. So this is Gingham Greetings, and Cheryl made this one, and she stitched on 32 count gray Petit point with DMC. So she used the DMC that they have listed in her chart, and she's almost done. So she added this to her Jolly July. I think it looks great. And it's so small. I don't know how she sees those stitches. And then, oops, I dropped something. From Terry, she's still working on Vintage Christmas Sampler. And so she's got the gingerbread man and the ornament done. And then she also, Terry also worked on a Priscilla and Chelsea Jolly July ornament. Mary Mrs. Claus.
Oh, she's so tiny.
I know, she's tiny. So she stitched on 25 count Vintage Country Mocha, and she stitched over one strand. Do you want to zoom in, Lily?
Yeah.
So she stitched over one strand since I was, I guess last week I was talking about stitching over one strand. Okay, I'm going to compare mine to hers.
Oh.
That's so funny. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Look at that. She put little blue eyes. Oh my gosh, I don't know how she did that. So yeah, so that's so cute. Can you imagine if you had like a tiny tree and then all the little tiny ornaments? That is crazy difference. Oh my goodness. And then now we're going to go from small to bigger. This is Christina's Mistletoe Lane piece.
Ooh.
So she's stitching on 10 Count Black by Lori Holt. And she has her house done and her ornaments, and then she's just going to fill in this part. It looks really good. So that is the rest of Jolly July. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about Prim Stitch Series. So this is the brand new series by Lori Holt. And if you're in the club, this is your second chart that you will be getting next week. And I wanted to show you. So she used her Chalky Chick paint. So Lori is finishing all of these for me. And she's using her medium square frame, and she's using wax on top. She has a YouTube channel, and she is going to show you how you do this. She's going to film a video on how to do this. So this is part 2, and she's using her Prim fabric collection for these pieces, and then her natural lace for this. And so if you're going to do this as one piece, you wouldn't do it this way. But if you're going to do it individually, this is how it will look. So, and we've gone through, I've finished the first 6 and she's finished the first 3. So I can only show you part 2. So if you're in the club, you'll be getting it next week. So let me know if y'all have any questions on any of that. And then
we had a couple cute and funny comments about the tiny stitching. Gail Stale said it's like the mama bear and baby bear.
Oh yeah,
That's funny.
and grandma bear.
A grandma bear. Edna Cook had said, looks like honey, I shrunk the cross stitch.
Oh, that's funny.
That was really funny. Very clever. Lori Holt had said, don't wait for Kevin to buy the purse, just get it yourself. LOL.
Oh yeah, and then I'll be like, Lori said I could buy the purse. He's gonna be like, excuse me?
She gave you permission.
I mean, I really don't need the purse.
From BB, do you have any tips for stitching on 28 count?
I would just use a light, like a Halo Go light or some kind of magnifier so you can see the holes. And if you're starting on that, I would start with an even weave rather than a linen, because even weave is easier to get a hang of it, and then you could move to linen. Like, just for personal preference, I'll never stitch on linen because that's just too much.
From Jill Farrell, I know you stitched your trucking along piece as one. Could you show your finished piece? Thank you.
Yes, we have it here apparently. So I have done June and July as one piece, and I'm going to start August in a week or 2. So this is June. Where's July? July's probably at home. So here is June.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, so this is June. And so what I'm doing on all of mine is I'm going to do my header, and then the bottom I leave 2 stitches. So that took me a while to figure out what to do, but I am going to do 2 stitches between the top and the bottom on all of them. And so I have June done, July done. I think July's already at home. And then I'm going to start August.
From Amy Dement, is your AC all fixed?
Yeah, the AC is fixed, thank goodness. It's a little bit, it needs to be calibrated a little bit, like one of the rooms is too cold, but yesterday I was able to work from home, and it was so nice to like not be sweating and stink. I was so used to everybody stinking.
From Donna Merrifield, hello from West Virginia. Now that Jolly July is nearly over, is there another event coming up to motivate stitchers? Thanks, I enjoy watching you.
World of Cross Stitch Day.
Woo!
And then we have something planned for October.
And from Sarah Shear, does Fat Quarter Shop have lap frames to do cross stitch on? I have the Q snap, but was looking for some wooden ones that roll the cloth on.
We have a couple. They're called K's Creation, K''S Creations, and we have a couple of them. We don't have a large selection of them though. And so we're going to go and look at Parade of Homes. And so Parade of Homes is something that we're showing at the end of every month, and it's kind of a celebration of houses. And so this one was stitched by me on lamb's wool 14 count, and I used called for DMC. So this is my July Cottage of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks. The next one is so pretty and so big. We might have to zoom out. Oh my word. So this is Cheryl. You can see how much progress she has made. It is so pretty. She is stitching, this is Santa's Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. She's stitched on Platinum 32 count Lugana by Zweigart. She's using the called for colors, so she's using Fancy Floss and DMC, and of course she's stitching it as one piece. It's gonna be so pretty. Oh my goodness, I'm jealous. That makes me want to make it. And then the next one is Frosty Forest. This is Frosty Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks. She'll be stitching it And let's see, she's stitching on Country French Rain 32 count linen by Witchell. And she's using DMC and Weeks Dye Works. And then is it just one piece down here? Or is it, I'll go all the way around? So she's halfway done. Okay, and then the next one is by Deborah. This is Glitter House Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. She stitched on raw silver 32 count Belfast by Zweigart with called for colors. She did change the white to 3865 and she's stitching it as one piece. And this is the called for fabric, right? So this is the called for fabric.
Oh, looks like it froze for a second.
I think it froze for a second.
Let me reset that camera real quick.
So on this one, it's so beautiful. I just don't know if I could see the holes. Plus it's 32 count. So sorry, technical difficulties. The camera just froze.
Okay. Give me one
there we
sec
go.
to reset it here.
So I'll just talk until we fix the camera. So this is the fabric, and you can see it's got the metallic woven in. And it's beautiful. I don't think I could stitch it because I think it's just the holes are too small because it's 32 count. And then the next one is Welcome to the Forest.
Okay, I think we're back on with the top camera.
Okay, so let's try the top camera. Yay!
Yeah.
So this is Welcome to the Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks. Deborah is stitching this on Smoky Blue 32 count even weave by Fabric Flair with DMC and Classic Colorworks. And on Fabric Flair, one side is white and then one side has a dyed effect look. And it's really soft. And then the very last Parade of Homes we have is called Snow Place Like Home by Country Cottage Needleworks. It's a 5-part series. This is one of the ones that I really do want to make one day. Angel is stitching this on Lamb's Wool 14 count Aida, and she's using the called for colors. And they're super cute on the patterns. Each of the patterns shows you how you could finish it into, I mean, I don't think it shows you, but it's just a picture of how you could finish it into little pillows. And there's 5 parts. So that is Snow Village. Let me know if y'all have any questions on Snow Village before I show all the rest of the stuff. I did want to remind you guys that we have this brand new cross stitch prism tutorial. It's free on this channel and it's something you can do at home, and it's a great way to hold your floss and your needles and then just throw it in one of your bags. And so I just wanted to remind you guys about our free video.
A question here from MJ, is the glitter fabric stiff from the metallic thread?
I don't think it's stiff. It's not soft, but it's not stiff. But I would say it's more of a thinner fabric, just because it's that 32 count, so it's a little bit thinner. Would you say that, Denise? Yeah, a little bit thinner.
From Colleen Isaac, what is lamb's wool?
So lamb's wool is a color of Aida. It's my very favorite color to use. It's just the color. It's it's just the color. Yeah, sorry. So it's the color. So I used it in the July, and then Deborah used it in this one. So it's just the color of fabric. And that color comes in Aida, linen, 14 count, 16 count, 28 count, all the stuff.
All right. We had a question here from Gabriel Fuentes. He says, completely off topic, but do you think Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend will make it to trial next year?
Do I think she'll make it to trial? I do, and tomorrow some documents are coming out, so I am very interested to wake up tomorrow to see what's in those documents. I think she will make it to trial, but I do not think everything will be uncovered. I think things will be silenced but I do not think she will be suicided. I just think that things will be covered and protected. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys Stitch Quarterly. It's a quarterly club that we have. And so this was our second Stitch Quarterly shipment. The pattern is now available, so if you were not able to get in the club, You can now get the pattern separately, either paper or PDF. Sorry, just paper. PDF will be later. But I'm going to show you a sneak peek. So if you want to see a sneak peek, you can keep looking. If not, I would close your eyes. So this is September's club. And Priscilla finished it, and we're not showing it to you. But you can see the theme of where we're going with this. It is going to be shipping in September, and we did open some spots. So if you were interested in being in the Stitch Quarterly, I would sign up today. We basically, on all of these clubs, we order a set amount, and when that is done, that is it. So in it, it comes in a bag. It has the pattern, the fabric, the floss, the needle, a notion. So we would love for you guys to sign up. It's exclusive, and we spend a lot of time, and we put a lot of love into all of that, making all of that happen. So let me know if you have any questions on Stitch Quarterly. Oh, so pretty. Mm-hmm. Before I show you some other things that I've been stitching.
All right. From Suzanne Colhagen, can you open the cross-stitch prism? I have not seen that project yet.
So it is not, you don't open it, it's closed. What it is foam core board covered in by Annie Soft and Stable, covered in fabric, glued down, and so you can put your needle in and, oh, we could put it here.
There we go.
So you put your needle in, and it'll stay in, and you can even put it in super far if you want, and you can wrap your thread around it. And the way that Coda uses this, I'll just tell you how one of our staff members uses it. She prefers to pre-thread all of her needles. So whatever project she's working on, she will thread all of the colors, and that way she just pulls, and then every needle has a color on it, and then she just keeps it in color order, and so all of hers have just a ton of needles and a ton of thread. It's just a fun DIY project to do at home, something to something designed so that you can travel on the go, and it also you know, it's very pliable, and so you could just kind of you can kind of put it wherever, and you can sit it by your bed when you're stitching.
Stella Napier says, Kimberly, at least show the bag.
We don't have it. It's not here yet.
Ooh. MJ says, are the Stitch Quarterlies roughly the same size?
No. No.
From Linda Friend, where does Priscilla find all the pretty ribbons for her finishes?
I think Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. She used to have a business where she did bears, like custom bears, I believe. And so she still has the ribbons from then when she did it. And she, she used to do like those craft fairs in the 80s. And so she sold bears. So she's got all kinds of ribbons, because every time I get something, it's got a different ribbon.
All right, from Trilby Freeman, question, when stitching in hand, does one end of the two strands in the needle end up shorter than the other?
No. And on World of Cross Stitch Day, when I stitch, you'll kind of see what I do. But if it comes uneven, just clip one. So I want to show you some other WIPs that we've been working on. This one is Snow Village, which was part of Jolly July. And part 11 came out. So if you are in the club member, your last shipment would have gone out this week on Monday. So I worked on this a little bit more. So there's the top, and here's the bottom. So here's 11. So all I have left to do to finish this is the cart, the top, and all of the back stitch. So my goal this week is to finish this, obviously, and then go through, and I'm going to do all of the words at the same time, and then all of the French knots, and then all of the back stitches. And later this week, we will have a set of all 11. So if you haven't started this yet and you want to, we will have a set where you can just buy one set and it has all 11 patterns. And the reason it has 11 is this is one section. So it doesn't come out 4 by 3 just because this is one section instead of 2. And so I'm gonna have to practice my French knots to get this done. But my goal is to have this done next week, and then I'm gonna take it to the framer at the same time as I take this one to the framer. It's kind of downtown, so it's pretty far from my house, so I only like to go once. So it's giving me motivation so that when I go, I can drop 2 things off. And we have some thread packs. So if you want to make it the way I made it, there are thread packs available also. And you can see kind of on the end, this only has like 1.5 inches left. But I kind of didn't center it perfectly, and it's fine. And then also for whips this week, Cheryl, oh my goodness, made a ton of progress on this. This is Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. It's a booklet that has this sampler in it. And I showed it to you last week, and look at it this week. She has so much of it done. So she's stitching on 32 count Legacy Lugana by Picture This Plus. We do have that fabric on order. She's using the called for colors, and Teresa calls for Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC. So she's doing it exactly as charted, and it is beautiful. So pretty. I've never done a border like this before. But I mean, look at all that detail. So you can see, if y'all think I'm fast, Cheryl is much faster than me. And then for finishes, I even have more finishes. One of the things that I did was I went to the framer and I picked up some frames. So last year in Mania, in 2019, I started all 4 of these projects. I finished 3. I decided not to do the Santa Claus, and the reason why is because I really didn't like the back stitching, and I didn't want to do the back stitching. So I'm going to show you all of them. This is Tiny Modernist Christmas Signs. So on the truck, you can see the truck has, can you zoom in a slight bit? Sorry. So on the truck, you can see that there are a lot of back stitches on the top. Like right there, there's a lot of back stitching, big back stitching, and I didn't like it. So I did the back stitching, pulled it out. So there was like back stitching here. So I pulled that out because I thought it looked better like this. And with the Santa Claus, you can see all that back stitching, and I just didn't like it. So that's why I decided not to do that one. So that's one of them. And I did a very similar frame to hers. And then the next one is my favorite because it has my last name, 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. So you can see this is a back stitch, and I'm okay with that. It's just the detailed back stitching I don't love. And then this one is May Your Days Be Merry and Bright, and I used Called For DMC and Venetian Stone 14 count by Witchell. So those are 3 of my finishes. And then another one is the very last Country Cottage Needleworks Cottage of the Month. I kind of went out of order, but now at my house I have the complete set. And on these, again, I used lamb's wool and Called For DMC. And it looks great. And it was so funny when I picked these up. The guy said, Christmas? Like, are you already doing Christmas? And I thought, well, I just do stuff whenever. He kind of looked at me funny, like he thought I was crazy. So let me know if you'll have any questions on all of those finishes and all of those things, because I have a little bit more after that.
From Gwen Smith, what is the fabric count on the Fabric and Stitch Quarterly?
It's different every time. So this one will be totally different. It will be very beginner friendly, I'll tell you that. And it's cute.
All right, from Caterpitters and Sniddles, if we receive the Last Stitch Quarterly project, do we need to join again?
No. As long as your credit card goes through, you're good.
All right, from MJ, So cute. Did you put glass in the frames? Can't tell. from the
Yes, I
video.
did. Anytime I take it to the framer, I put glass, and I do museum glass. It does have, I mean, you can see that it does have, I mean, a reflection, but not too much. Because if you do museum glass, it's going to be less shiny. I don't know
Less
how
glare.
to, less what?
Glare.
Yeah, less glare. I was like, what is that word? Yes.
From Gail Stale, when will Priscilla's fabrics come in?
Soon. Very, very, very soon.
Ooh.
So Priscilla, when I first met her, I don't know, I just loved her. So I went to Henry Glass at Quilt Market like a year ago, and I said, hey, I really think you need to do a fabric for Priscilla and Chelsea, and this is who they are. And he was like, what? And I said, this is what I think you should do. Please do it. And they did. And so I think it's super awesome that they have that opportunity to like make their own finishing fabric. And it's super awesome. But yes, it's very, very soon.
From Patricia Lewis, is there a book that shows all the different stitches and how to do them?
I'm sure on Amazon you could find something like that. I really just do crosses. I just do X's. I do cross stitches and very little I'll leave as much back stitch as I can get away with. Sometimes I'll do some and I'll email Lori and say, yeah, like recently, like I think it was like a week ago, I said, is this enough back stitch? Do I have to do more? Like, can I get away with just this? I'll do the least amount of back stitch as I can.
From CM Holt, I only have Hobby Lobby for framing and it's very expensive. $120 for a 10 by 10.
Yep.
Is your framer cheaper? I can't imagine sending that many projects to a framer.
No. That's why Priscilla gets a lot of stuff. She saves me a lot of money. And so what we do is like once every 3 or 4 months, Denise and I will go to Hobby Lobby and just, or like if I'm by my house and go to Michael's, we'll just buy a ton of finishing things and then just mail her like big boxes. And then that way she's not spending all the money like finishing all my stuff. She can just, and then she can use it if she wants or whatever. Obviously with everything going on, we haven't sent her, last time we sent her something, it was just like a ton of stuff. I was like, this is gonna last like 6 months. We just sent more than normal.
From Gourmet Law, what's the difference between Aida and even weave cloth?
So Aida, you stitch over 1, and even weave is where you stitch over 2. And what it means is, okay, so I'll show you this. Can you scroll up a second? And then can you? So this is Lugana, which means it's an even weave. So it means this is where you stitch over 2. So you can see how it looks different if you compare it to say this. This is stitched over 1. So the squares are bigger. The squares are smaller here. And even weave means that the same size thread is used to make the cloth. The same size thread is used to make the cloth this way and this way. When you use linen, sometimes it's not even and you'll see chunkier pieces. Yes, we have a linen here. Thank you. So on this one, you can see it's not as even. So for example, like here, you can see that little thread. They're not as even. And so linen will sometimes give you more of an antiqued look, whereas this is going to be 100% even, so your stitches will be exactly the same, and then here it might move around a little bit. So I hope that's a good explanation. So I also worked on one other thing, and it is the Singing in the Rain by Bev McCullough from Flamingo Toes. And so this is hers. I did my colors. I did an AuriFloss pack. And here is my piece. So this week was the pinwheels. So I did the pinwheels just like she did. I think I did the colors a little bit different in order. And then this week she's doing a sew along, and we can pop up the dates in a second, but on her blog she has all of those dates. But this week is going to be the flowers, and so I think I'm going to do my flowers where I reverse the light pink and the dark pink every other flower, and then I'm definitely not doing the back stitch around just because I don't want to. So that'll be this week, so I'll get that one done this week. And it's really cute. And this one I think I'm going to frame also. I think I'm going to put this one in my sewing room. And so after that, we have some new items. This is a brand new Country Cottage Needleworks pattern called Trees and Bees. It's so cute. I can envision a lot of people just doing the row of houses with the little bees nest. And then Pumpkin Spice by Shannon Christine.
Ooh.
And then Annie B's Folk Art. This is her second part. She came out with Country Christmas 1 at Market. And this is Country Christmas 2. And they look great. These would be great for Jolly July. We also got some new fabrics in stock. So these two are Linda cloths. And the reason we're stocking them is Priscilla and Chelsea use Monaco. Sorry, I had to think of the word Monaco. And they used to buy it at Joann's on the bolt. We now sell it. It's pre-cut, but it used to be available on the bolt, and it's very efficient, and they like that it's 100% cotton, and they like that it's stiff. So they think this is similar, so I'm going to show it to you. And one of the things that Priscilla stitches on all the time is Monaco Black. They no longer make Monaco Black, but this is similar in that it's more of a true black rather than Aida that I use, which is chalkboard black. So this is chalkboard black and Aida. And she wanted her customers to be able to find something similar to what she uses. So it's stiffer because that's what Chelsea and Priscilla like, and it's blacker. So this would be similar to what they use on their projects. And we got it in black and white. And we're cutting it into 18 by 26 inch pieces. And then this is a brand new cloth that just came out. It's called Basalt Splash. It's by Zweigart, and it's 25 count Lugana. So I think this is gonna look, I think people are gonna really use, this would look great for like Christmas. It looks like snowflakes. So you could do Snow Village, or I almost think you could do Glitter Village on it too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's brand new, and it's 25 count, so it's the same count as some of the stuff I've been using. So it's bigger than, the holes are bigger than if you're doing 28 count, so it's definitely doable, and it's even weave. And then our flash sales for today are the Stitcherhood pattern called Quaker Cauldron and Natural Light Linen in 28 count. So that is what we have today, but I'm happy to answer any questions. I would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I would love for you to make these and show us because they're really cute. But definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a like on the video, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yes. From Wilma Evans, are embroidery stitches the same as cross stitches?
So embroidery and cross stitch is totally different. So embroidery stitches would be more on a cloth that doesn't have exact holes where you go in and out. It's more freehand, and you would have your cloth and you would draw your lines and then you would stitch on top of it. Cross stitch, you're actually going in certain holes. That's the way I would describe it. Embroidery's like, I would think embroidery would be like Lily. She's like an artist. Like like it gives you more free form. Freedom, yes, that's the word.
Yes. But I will say embroidery even intimidates me. So.
But like I just, like, for me, I wouldn't enjoy embroidery like Lily would, because Lily's like an artist, and so she likes to be free. and she doesn't feel like she has to be in the box. I'm more of an in the box person, and I like those squares because I don't have to think as much. And so it's kind of a, personality thing.
Yeah.
Even though I think she would like both, I'm just giving you an example of personality, I guess. I'm not trying to be mean.
No.
Okay, I was like, but I was trying to, like, I don't know, I could see Lily doing all kinds of embroidery.
No, yeah, I have done more embroidery than cross stitch, so.
Because it's more like freedom, right? It's more.
It's different. From Shelly Edwards, are you able to sell it in a single larger piece by request? I think they're talking about the basalt,
No, we got the bolts and we cut them all up. Okay. So basically, we cut it into we cut it up already.
All right. A couple nice comments here from Sunshine Girl 74. Maybe Priscilla or Lori should write a book for beginner cross stitching.
Oh, yeah.
And then Black Ribbon Studio said, I recently won the DMC floss pack for Mistletoe Lane from Priscilla and Chelsea, just waiting for my fabric from Pack Quarter Shop to get started.
Yay! And we're getting caught up on shipping times, so we're getting further and further ahead. So,
Goose Design Denise says, how's Piggy?
Oh, he's good. We had to have a little. Kevin got really mad last night because he was like, I just don't understand why Piggy has to go every day to daycare when y'all could just take care of him during the day and you could just walk him. And I was trying to explain to Kevin that when Piggy gets there, he gets so excited he'll just like jump out of our arms. He's so excited to see his friends. And Kevin's like, he's a dog. I'm like, he's my dog, and he will go to daycare if he wants to go to daycare, and we can walk him when he comes home. But no, he's good. He loves going to daycare. I know it's really ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I know.
Yeah. I'm going to let a few more questions roll in. I also wanted to make sure to give Ashley a shout out. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Ashley.
Oh, it is. Happy birthday.
Yay. Yeah, she's the one that's in the comments with everyone. She helps me with video stuff. She's an amazing person.
Oh, it's her birthday.
Yeah.
It's her birthday. It's your birthday.
Trilby Freeman says, would it be possible for Lily to bring in one of her embroideries? Sure.
Yeah.
I could. It's nothing fancy.
Yeah, she can.
It's one of those that from like Amazon that's just like, it comes with the whole thing. Okay.
So guys, have a wonderful week. Spend your time stitching, and I'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.